Hello everyone, my name is GamerZach and welcome to the first ever Dev Q&A for Ara History Untold, where we'll be responding to questions from you, our wonderful community that you've shared with us on social media, YouTube, on the Insider forums, and via Messenger Pigeon. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. In today's debut episode, we're joined by Michelle Menard, Design Director at Oxide Games. Michelle, welcome to Dev Q&A.
Hi, Zach. It is super awesome to meet you. I am super excited to be here. This is going to be a great series. Like, woohoo! Yeah.
It's always great to meet the devs because, you know, you would know a lot more than pretty much everyone else. So it'd be great if you could just, you know, spill the beans, you know, tell us what you know,
and this
what's
is great.
legally allowed.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But this is really nice too, because we see a lot of these questions she posted on various different forum boards and places around the internet. And so this is nice. We can finally just answer them all here in one spot. Yay! And so you can hear it here first. Woohoo!
All right, Michelle, we've got a lot of burning questions from the community. Are you ready to spill the secrets on Ara History Untold?
All the secrets. Yes, let's go. Let's do the thing.
First up, we have a question from YouTube who writes, the game does look aesthetically very pleasing. The proper scale of everything helps immersion very much. I wonder if the map size affects performance here. What's the biggest map on Ara?
Well, if you've read one of the previous dev diaries, I believe I said it was huge and they're big. But what does that mean in context? Because I don't know what's big to you. So I think the important thing to really think about, though, is that we've gone through a lot of iterations to really determine how big is big enough, how small is small enough, and what does it really mean in terms of gameplay. Because if you think about it, how big that map is going to come back directly to how many players you're interacting with, how many nations are on the map, what is a good spread, then, you know, where are you on the map to each other? So like when are you going to meet each other? How far away is too far away for war? So those are all the kinds of questions that we've been answering when we've determined what is that biggest map size. And what I can say, we think it's quite large. We think it's a good size, though, and it really makes for some interesting choices. And yes, we really hope that you agree when you get your hands on it.
Yeah, I do know this is a big question because some people, you know, they just want it to be infinitely big, which is impractical, but they want it to be as big as possible, right?
Yeah. But we also want you to be able to find people, though. So you're not just like, where is everybody? Because that's no good either.
If you could, make it to scale, to Earth.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
Work.
It is to scale to Ara, I will say that.
Our next question is from Sofa Ruckus on Twitter, who says, I'm interested in which board game they played on the Developer Direct. Or was it a board game version of Ara?
Yeah, you got it. It was a board game version of Ara, and I happen to have it right here. Woo! Here it is. It's so cute. There it is. There's the box. So way back in the day when Ara started, we were still getting a lot of like the tech up and done. And I was like, well, I could take a lot of time to try to like implement some stuff by myself. No. Or I could make a board game and actually test out a lot of the mechanics on paper first. So that's what I did. This was the final version of the board game that got printed up at the Game Crafter in Wisconsin. It has got like the nice little pieces that you saw on the video, but the first version was literally just index cards, some junk I bought at the Michael's craft store just down the road, and like manila folders. But yeah, so that, good catch, that was the initial paper prototype that we played.
Oh, I remember making paper prototypes.
Yeah.
They're fun because you can just do it wrong and it's fine.
Yeah, and you're like,
no
this
pressure.
mechanic sucks. Literally rip this card up. You're dead to me. Go make a new card.
Just tear it up. It's fine.
Yes. And we did.
Next question. Will it have a space colonization expansion?
Oh, that's a lot of words there. So what I'm going to say is that launch is only the beginning. We have major plans to keep supporting Ara post-launch, and we are definitely going to be listening to all your feedbacks and ideas, and so keep them coming. So all things like this, other things you want to see too, we're listening.
You heard it. Keep asking questions. Next, we have Penguin Lamont on Twitter, who writes, is Ara History Untold PC only, or is it also coming to Xbox?
Sure, and I've actually seen this question a lot, also on the Steam forum, so people want to know. So given the history of the player base and the genre and on the team's experience, we are definitely only focusing right now on developing a world-class PC-first experience on Windows, Steam, and PC Game Pass. That's not to be said that will only be forever those things are, but we really want to make sure right now that we are delivering the highest quality experience for everybody on those exact platforms. And then later we'll be totally happy to share more plans going forward for Xbox Series consoles in the future.
Moving on, we've got a comment on on a Simultaneous Turns video, who says, "It was one of the features I loved most in the alpha. Reminded me of the board game Diplomacy." So the question is, were there any board games that were a big inspiration for Ara's turn structure?
Well, you named one. Diplomacy was certainly in there. A lot of us have played and love Diplomacy. Another one was one I mentioned too, was Kriegspiel, which was one of the very original kind of military strategy simulation titles way back in like Prussia times, so like 1800s. So as far as board games go, those were some of the big ones. I mean, yeah, there's also other ones that we played too, like, Galaxy Trucker, but that's a rather contentious board game in the office. Some people think, it varies. But yeah, so we definitely played a lot of board games, though, in general. A lot of Euro board games we drew inspiration from. So good catch. Yeah, there was a lot of board gaming inspiration very, very early on here.
Galaxy Trucker was contentious?
Yeah, I think it's amazing, but I also like to troll people. So I.
Right.
And other people are like, "I hate playing with you." I'm like, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
I see who you are. I know the type.
Yeah.
All right, so our next question, will it have the option to turn off this simultaneous to classic turn-based strategy?
Well, no, because really the turn-based structure here with it being simultaneous is really core to the experience in Ara. So one of those decisions we made early on was that we wanted you to have to really think and outsmart your opponents and not just be able to respond to them in an unfair, biased way. Because if you go later in the turn system, that does give you a lot of information about game state that people who went earlier in that kind of traditional turn state would not have had. So they're at a disadvantage in a lot of ways. So really that whole idea that you have to all take your turns at the exact same time, AI included, you have to try to use that information for what game state knowledge you do have to the best of your ability, and really, really try to plan the best you can is core to the experience.
Next up, we have Gaetano Florio 3552 on YouTube, who says, "Localization Italian, please, or open the mod."
We really do want as many people in the world as possible to experience Ara in their native language. One of the key ideas from the very beginning of Ara was to make a more global experience. And with that comes localization options. So you heard it here first, peoples. We're happy to announce that Ara will support 25 languages at launch. Woohoo! Including German, Japanese, Turkish, Korean, French, and yes, Italian, and many more. So yeah, if you speak a different language, you want to make sure that it's included, absolutely keep talking. Keep posting things on Steam and the forums, and we'll keep you updated as the plan evolves.
All right, our final question comes from Kazaderon on Twitter, who writes, "When can we get a chance to play? I'm in the Insider program, but never seen anything."
Well, first up, thank you for joining the Insider program. That's your first step. In there, we are actually looking for some members to join what we have is called the External Council right now. So that is a smaller group of intimate players like you out there in the wild that we asked to join this exclusive group. And you can then basically have access to regular build updates, chances to provide deeper feedback. And we have conversations with these people daily, even in some cases. So be on the lookout for that invite in there. And if it's something that's interested you, just speak up and say, "Hey, I'm interested in joining. Can I please?" And that's how we're basically recruiting for that right now. And also stay tuned because, we will be doing a Technical Alpha 3 at some point in the future, and we will be posting details for that on the Insider Forum as well. So your first step's there. You already joined, so just keep your eyeballs peeled for there, and we'll let you know as soon as it's ready.
Thank you once again for joining us, Michelle. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Well, as always, thank you for being here. You guys are a really amazing community. It was super awesome to hear everybody's questions and actually have a chance to answer them and not just kind of see them scrolling around on Reddit and be like, "Oh, I can't comment. That's so sad." But now I can. Woo! And I'm so excited to keep doing this. And we're going to have some other devs in here as well to answer more of your questions. So please keep them coming. And we'll do our best to keep answering all these questions you have up through lunch.
Perfect. You heard it. Keep the questions coming. We're gonna need to know more stuff from what you want to hear, and we can try our best to give you the answers. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. You can subscribe for future dev diaries and Q&A videos. Follow us on the social platforms of your choice and join the Insider program for an opportunity to play Ara History Untold before launch. And don't forget to wishlist and follow Ara History Untold on Steam. If you have any questions or feedback about the game, make sure you drop them down below, and we'll see you next time.